Can you find religion and party in the same spot? No one would mistake where we are for a traditional house of worship. Just take a quick look around and it becomes clear that we are in a bar or a lounge. In fact, we're at Sugar Hill in the 3rd Ward of Houston, Texas. Now, the 3rd Ward is one of the historic wards of Houston. It's predominantly African American, but it is diverse in a variety of ways. Economically diverse, culturally diverse, and the entertainment opportunities in the 3rd Ward are stellar. Within hip-hop culture, the 3rd Ward is referenced as the Tray. It's the home of Texas Southern University, Riverside Hospital, and so many prominent black churches, and Islam is also found here. Folks who come to Sugar Hill gather with friends and family, perhaps have a drink and share a bit of their lives, tell stories about the week, and this is all wonderful, but you're probably asking yourself a question. Why start a course on religion and hip-hop culture at this lounge? Why not one of the many prominent churches or mosques within the area? That's a good question. And Professor Bunby and I think we have a good answer. So in this first session, we're going to give you that answer. We want you to explore religion in a rather robust and complex way. We understand that you probably bring to this course your own thinking on religion. And that probably revolves around the traditions, Christianity, Islam, etc. And while we want you to maintain your awareness of those traditions as deeply influential and important, we also want you to think more broadly about religion and what religion seeks to accomplish. In this first session, we're going to help you do that by tackling two things. First, we're going to give some attention to two traditions, the traditions that shape this course, Christianity and Islam. And we'll spend a little time discussing their institutional forms, their doctrines, their creeds. But here's the challenge. The second thing we'll do is ask you to think about religion in a way that cuts beyond traditions, creeds, and doctrines. We're going to ask you to entertain the possibility that religion is about a quest for complex subjectivity. That is to say, religion is simply about an effort to make life meaningful. I'm going to be talking in terms of the United States, but I hope you'll use this as an opportunity to think about what I'm saying within your own context. Now, I want to bring you into my context, Texas, Houston. Religion matters here, no doubt about it. Religion matters. There are huge numbers of Christians, huge numbers of churches. In fact, two of the largest churches in the country are located in Houston. That's Lakewood and Second Baptist. The largest United Methodist church in the country, Windsor Village, is also located in Houston. But in addition to this Christian population, that is substantial, there are a good number of Muslims in Houston as well. In fact, Houston is one of the major locations for the growth of new mosques in the United States. All that is to say, the religious landscape of the United States is robust, it's thick, and the majority of U.S. citizens place themselves on this turf, understanding themselves as religious. And it's also important to recognize that these traditions compete. They have claims, creeds, doctrines, practices that run contrary. Let me give you just one example. Jesus the Christ. For Christians, this figure is huge. That the tradition revolves around the story of this particular figure. Now, some Christians will debate whether Jesus was in fact God and human or not. What remains important is this: the moral and ethical principles that guide life for Christians are premised upon the teachings of this figure. Now, for Muslims, Jesus is important as well. He's one of the prophets, but not the greatest prophet. From the perspective of Muslims, Christians make too much of this figure. Now, I give you this example simply to highlight that these traditions exist in the same locations, but they compete. I don't want to leave you with the thought that these traditions simply compete, that they're just wrestling. I also want you to understand that there are deep commonalities between these traditions. I'm going to highlight one. Christianity and Islam are both concerned with a proper response to human suffering. They are both concerned with providing humans with a way to make it through the world, to make it through life with a sense of agency, purpose, and to move through life in ways that allow for robust and rich relationships. And to do that with a sense that they are just a small piece of a larger process. Christians understand human suffering as being something easily addressed, that the Christ event is all about an effort to deal with human misery, suffering, and shortcomings. It becomes a way of providing humans with a way out. And the argument is this: if you accept what Christ has done, you have an opportunity to right wrongs, develop a new life path, and new opportunities will arise from that. For some Christians, this involves an otherworldly sense of salvation that's available to you. For others, it involves a different set of opportunities, a different knowledge base that guides life in the here and now. I want to highlight one of the traditions that will be important during the course of our time together, the Nation of Islam. And it has argued that this suffering amounts to misinformation. That if we better understand ourselves, understand our place within the context of this world, and if we develop patterns of thinking and eating and behaving, we can lessen human suffering. At this point, I'm going to move on to the second idea, the idea that religion is a quest for complex subjectivity. And this is my argument. If you look at these two traditions, pull away these various layers of disagreement, get to their fundamental concern to make life meaningful by addressing human suffering, you have a fundamental commonality. But both of these traditions are about the business of making life meaningful. We move through the world aware of what we are doing, how we are doing it, why we are doing it, and the context for all of that. We are self-aware. The downside of that, this self-awareness includes an understanding that we are mortal and we come to an end. Religion provides a way of shaping life as meaningful in light of this anxiety over our end. If you'd like a bit more information, check out the bonus reel and also give some attention to the teaching assistant shout-outs. Those will be really, really helpful. I want to leave you with one thought. Much of the work that religion does in order to help folks make life meaningful gets captured in popular culture. We're going to spend our time together looking at the intersections of religion and hip-hop culture. We want to begin that process by giving you a little bit of background information on hip-hop. And there's no one better equipped to do that than Houston's own Bun B. Grammy-nominated, internationally known. There's no one who knows this game better than Bun B, and he's going to take you a little further in this discussion.